What I wanted to do with my wildlife art is I didn't want to hammer home some sort of political message. I wanted to let people know we share this planet with these wonderful animals, and if it inspires them to do any activism or get into art or anything like that, that's brilliant. But I want to have fun with my art, and I make that art for myself, and it's got to be fun. So doing the animals and all these bright funky colours is a lot of fun, and that's the main focus. So the concept behind this collection really was about camouflage, and I became obsessed, and still am, about adaptations, animals' adaptations, how they use camouflage to prey on animals or avoid being predated on. A thought experiment, because as an artist you have to play little games with yourself. I thought it would be a good idea to use camouflage that we would use, the humans, and transfer that onto the animals. So you've got greens, touches of browns, bits of mustardy yellow colours. And I thought, maybe if the animals adapted themselves to evade humans. I know animals are really good at camouflage, they can hide from us as it is, but just as a fun thought experiment, I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have these animals dressed in green camouflage? And here we are. I've been passionate about wildlife art since the 90s. I think I decided I wanted to be an artist about 1991, 92. And I've just always loved the outdoors. I've been passionate about nature documentaries since I was a little boy. I mean, one of my early happiest memories is with my dad sitting on the sofa watching nature documentary after nature documentary, I've tried all sorts of art. I've done traditional portrait painting in oils. I've done every genre you can think of in every medium. But for some reason, the animals, I always go back to them. There's something about the anatomy. I love the adaptations of them, things like that. Colour theory came from reading a book called The Secret Lives of Colour by Cassia Sinclair, which is a fantastic book that dives deep into the history of colours. So naming them really was easy. I just picked my favourite names from the colour scheme of green. Malachite, which is a gemstone. Beautiful word, beautiful gemstone, yeah. The human eye can process more shades of green than any other colour, which is fascinating. There's some good books out there about that. Obviously goes back to when we were hunter-gatherers, so we could see prey in the forest. And what I would suggest for anybody to do, whether they've got artistic leanings or not, is take a leaf from outside and sit and draw it and study it, or paint it, and just study it. And I guarantee you the next time you go outside, the whole world will open up to you. You'll be able to see details and leaves and plants and trees that you never knew was there. But the green as a paint, green as a colour for artists, has always had this sort of mystery around it, a bit hard to handle, because you've got a lot of transparent colours or opaque colours, or some shades of green don't mix that well. So your understanding of colour mixing with other colours can go out the window a little bit with green. The green can really taint. I mean, green and a red can give you black, So it's a powerful colour. So I wanted to experiment with that. I love tigers. To be honest with you, I could paint tigers every single day of my life and not get bored. There's just something about tigers, the stance, the attitude. I absolutely love them. And I've named this one Basil because I wanted a nice, fun, sort of gentle name for a ferocious beast. Again, with the stance, walking towards you, lifting the paw up. You don't know whether he's ready to pounce or what he's going to do. But I thought titling him Basil would make him sort of more appealing. So the eyes are really important. When I first started doing this style, the eyes were sort of a bit psychedelic and they were dripping, and I wanted to get a bit more control of the eyes because I thought it was losing a bit of the impact. So keeping the eyes realistic is really important for the whole piece to work, because you focus naturally straight on the eyes. So if the eyes work, I can get on with it. I'll lay down a few colours first and then I'll put the eyes in, and I'll spend a lot of time getting the eyes right. Even though, to be honest with you, painting eyes isn't that difficult. It is worth spending a bit of time getting them right, because that's what carries it over to the viewer. That's what sends the whole message of the image to the viewer. The eyes have it. This is the leopard. I've titled it Sage, just to keep the green colour scheme going through it. Again, I really love the walking towards you stance of the big cats I've used. I think Sage fits it well. I wanted to keep the colours and the names sort of nice and comfortable, not too aggressive. So I think Sage is a perfect name for it. And it'll look well in your kitchen as well, wouldn't it?